Welcome back everybody. Today I'm back with 3 Amazon gadgets that caught my eye. Now it's a pretty wide range of products, so let's get started with the first item, something I've been wanting to try for a while, a digital microscope. Let's take a look at this digital Wi-Fi microscope. I paid 24 bucks for it. Currently has a 4.3 star rating among over 1,200 reviews. We have instructions, USB cable, and the unit itself. And that's it. That is it. Kind of feels like a nose hair trimmer. Now they claim that it's an electronic microscope that's ideal for anyone interested in exploring the microscopic world. 2 million pixels, 1080 HD quality, 8 dimmable LEDs, Wi-Fi and USB functionality. They say it has a free app, can also be used on your computer. Takes an hour to charge, 2 hours of battery time. There's also a camera function that can take pictures and video. People online who liked it said it was easy to set up and the magnification was excellent. They say it's educational, interesting, and entertaining. Now some people didn't like it so much. They said it was not very good for people with shaky hands. Other people complained they had problems connecting to it. So I'm gonna read these over and then get started. All right, let's get started trying this out now. Now it comes with an app which I already installed. I put it on my older phone, and the app is called Max-C. Not Maxi, but Max-C. It connects via Wi-Fi, and one thing I didn't like about it is that it requires full access to all your photos to even work. You can't do limited access, that doesn't work either. So going over the controls, you hold this button down for 3 seconds to turn on the power. The directions don't state that, I had to figure it out. It just says turn on the unit. It doesn't even mention this is the power button. Select the Wi-Fi in your phone and you should be connected. All right, taking a look at the software itself, we have the resolution here, very basic. You can rotate your screen. The video function allows you to record video and capture files as well. On the unit itself, you have this dial, which is a brightness for LEDs, and then this dial is zoom in and out of focus. So let's put the instructions for the Eazy Hold here and see what we got. I am going to hit the video button, and you can see the quality of the video that's being recorded here. All right, so let's take a look at one of these letters here. I'm going to kind of change the focus a little bit. Whoa, look at that. Wow, that's different. If I zoom out, you can see the individual ink. That's kind of cool. Let me change the let me see if I can get the resolution maxed out here. 1920 by 1080. Let me record some video once again. Let's try something else. While I'm on the table, I don't even know what that, to me this is a speck. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a speck to my eye. Wow, no idea what that is. And that is my shirt. Whoa, and I see a Bailey hair in there too. That's interesting. How about my shorts? Man, they look a lot different at that perspective, don't they? I'm gonna go right on this guy right here, see what that looks like. And that is his eyeball. Wow, look at that. That's kind of cool. I gotta say, that's kind of cool. I mean, you look at how big that eyeball looks when it's really, I mean, it's like 1/8 of an inch. Wall, not very interesting. How about the Mandelbrot map? Once again, you can see the ink patterns. That's kind of cool. Top of a Perrier bottle. Oh, wow, that's not what I expected. How about a Pringles potato chip? Actually, potato crisp. They're not legally potato chips. Well, I guess you can kind of see the seasoning on there. That's interesting. That almost looks like skin. Sometimes you're better off not knowing, I guess. Let's see what things we can find outside, like a tennis ball. Check it out. Whoa, it looks like hair. It looks like hair. Very interesting. How about the stucco? Oh, it looks dirty. That's dirty stucco. I guess anything that zoomed in is gonna be dirty. It looks kind of dirty. How about this palm tree? Wow, it's very uniform looking. It's much more uniform looking than I expected. That's kind of cool, actually. Once you zoom in, all these different colored parts look kind of the same. Bolt's got long white hair. There's some gray in there, Bailey. Bailey, you got some gray hair going on. Let's try some rocks here. Well, these rocks really aren't that exciting. You know, it seemed like a good idea, but the rocks are not that interesting. Maybe to a geologist, but not to me. How about my shoe? Now that's interesting. To me, my shoe is more interesting than a rock. My geology professor in college would not want to hear that. All right, I have located a dead ant. Let's try that. I'm not sure it's completely dead though. Maybe it's not dead. That is an ant. Oh, it's moving. That is, I'm glad they're not the same size as us, because that would be very scary. Sorry, buddy, I think Bailey stepped on you. Next up is an Oreo Dunker. Now this one caught my eye because I did a collection of cookie dunkers years ago, and I've also tested a lot of new flavors of Oreos recently. So I put this to the test, and here's how that went. Let's take a look at this Oreo Dipper now. I paid $8.48 for this. Currently has a 3.5 star rating among over 280 reviews. All right, this is it. This is all there is to it. It's very, very cheaply made. There really aren't a lot of claims for this online. It just says you can dip your Oreo with this. The listing seems to imply it's only good for double stuffed Oreos. They also say it's not dishwasher safe. Now, people online who liked it said it's a good idea. Some people said it worked great and avoids getting milk in your fingers. Now, there was a lot of complaints though. Some people said it was too big for any sized Oreo, or at best it didn't fit very well. A lot of people said it was overpriced, cheaply made, or just plain useless. This will be easy to test. All right, let's try this out now. It should be easy to test out. Now, taking a closer look at it, to me this looks 3D printed. It just has all the hallmarks of a 3D printed item, yet they charge over $8 for it. That is a markup. But I've done some cookie dunkers over the years, and to me, everybody already has the best cookie dunker out there, which is a fork. And we're gonna compare a regular fork with this $8 cookie dunker. Now, the Amazon listing and some of the comments kind of implied that it was mainly for the double stuff version of Oreos, but I gotta try both, right? So let's pull out a regular Oreo and see what happens. Some people were saying that this is too thick. Let's see. I'm gonna pull out a regular Oreo. In fact, I'll even be easy on it. I'm gonna be easy on it. I'm gonna pull out the one that seems to be the thickest. I'm gonna pull out this one right here. This seems to be a nice, well, kind of thick. Now that I think about it, where's all the filling at? Get out of here with that. This one's falling apart. Man, this is a disaster. This is a mess. All right, one of these back here looks pretty good. This looks like a solid candidate right there. So what we're supposed to do is hook this onto the Oreo. Now I can already look at this. I can already tell you that is not gonna fit. If I push it on there, it's gonna push it apart or break it, one of the two. I mean, it certainly does not seem like it's gonna fit very well. Let me see. All right, it just pulled it apart. It just broke it apart. Now that's not gonna stay together. This is not going so well. Although I was able to push it back together. Although I think I broke the Oreo. Let's try it one more time. I gotta give it a fair shake here. Here's another regular Oreo. It's just too big. It's too thick to go on a regular Oreo, which is what the Amazon listing kind of implies. And it came apart, but I'm gonna kind of try to seal it back together by pressing it together. Maybe it'll work. I have a rather innocent looking cup of milk here. Oh, I did crack it. Looking at it more closely, I did crack it right there, but maybe it'll stay together. Let's do a quick dunk. All right, it is dunking, it's holding. It is holding. I shouldn't be impressed by that, but based on how bad it's worked already, I'm kind of impressed already. Let's try eating it off of the dunker. Awkward. Now with a fork, I don't have to be so selective. I don't have to just pick through the best candidate in the batch of Oreos. I can just grab any of them. I'm gonna close my eyes and grab one. Doesn't matter which one it is. Because a fork will work. A fork will slide right in between there and it will hold it. Look at it, boom. So far, I've not found a better cookie dunker than a fork. And it holds it just as well or better. And it's easier to get off there when you're eating it too. But let's be fair here. There is an implication that it's only for the double stuffed Oreos. Let's see what happens with one of these. This looks like a good one. Kind of seems like it's fitting a little bit better, although it's still pretty tight in there. It still feels like it's pushing the cookie apart. All right, I think I did it. I didn't break the Oreo this time. It didn't push the cookie apart. I think we're good to go. Let's do a quick dunk. It's good for dunking, but biting it off there, you're kind of putting this thing in your mouth, unlike a fork, which you're not. Let's grab another one for the fork here. Fork technique. And that's not going anywhere. That is solid as a rock. And it's easier to bite them off of there because you don't have it all the way around the sides. It's easy to call this one, right? I mean, it does have a function, but it doesn't even work with the most popular Oreo out there. It doesn't work with the OG Oreo. It just works with the double stuff. You can make it work with the regular Oreos, but you might take it apart or break it. It doesn't work as well as a fork, and it's overpriced, so I see no reason to recommend this. I can see someone with a 3D printer want to try this, otherwise I wouldn't buy it. And finally, we have a product that basically adds a handle to a lot of household items. That makes it potentially useful for people who have problems holding such items. It's the Eazy Hold, and here's what happened when I tried it out. Let's take a look at these Eazy Hold handles. I paid $21.99 for a 2-pack, currently has a 4.0 star rating among almost 200 reviews. Open it up, and a very nice presentation. They have a little card here. They've got some instructions, and it is nicely presented. Now they claim you can add a handle to cups, bottles, and a lot of other items with this accessory. They say it's ideal for kids, seniors, those with dexterity or strength issues, Provides a snug fit and can be gripped with fingers, hands, or limbs. Pull one of these off here. Now, people online who liked it, they said that it was good for holding bottles. Good for people with trimmers, kids, or more. The only real cons I saw was some people said it didn't really fit all the items they'd hoped it would. I'm gonna peruse this text here and then get started. All right, let's put this Eazy Hold to the test here. Now, I was looking over the Amazon listing one more time, and there are multiple sizes of this. They have smaller ones for things like utensils, pencils, hairbrushes. This is for larger items like water bottles and other bigger items, which is I'm gonna try. Also noticed in the comments that it seems like there's a pretty wide variety of opinions on how useful this is, and I think it's how people are using it which decides that. Another thing that kind of occurred to me is that there seems to be two different types of uses for it. Things that are more permanent and things that are temporary. Temporary like a water bottle, permanent like a hairdryer. So in other words, some people leave it on a certain item permanently and some people take it on and off certain things like water bottles. And with that, let's jump into it. First thing I'm gonna try is I'm kind of throwing a softball here. Now this is a nice tumbler sent to me by my friends in New Hampshire. And this is also a uniformly cylindrical object. So it should be an easy one to test out. Let's see how it goes. So you're supposed to stretch it over one end, it takes a little bit of force, but it was certainly doable. If I'm gonna go to the bottom, I'm gonna have to kind of move it down here a little bit. Now there is some force required to apply this. I think people with strength issues might struggle a little bit, but if someone's doing it for them, then you have a nice handle here. Let's see. That's a bit tight. I might need to move this down even more. It seems like you want to have a little bit of slack there. And here we go. All right, so we have a nice handle. And look, I'm not even using my thumb and I'm holding on to it. I can certainly say use for that. I think we're off to a pretty good start. Let's take it off here and keep going. Let's move up to the next level, which is another item that's not quite cylindrical, but also a water bottle. This beautiful Freakin Reviews tumbler by Patriot Coolers. I wonder where I got that at. All right, let's try this. Also, the opening is a little larger, the bottom's smaller. Let's see if it can handle this configuration. I place it on the bottom. So far, so good. That's the easy part though. Let's put it on the top and see what happens. They say it can go up to 6 inches. This is not 6 inches, so it should be no problem here. All right, stretching it is stretching. The stretching is not, it's not snapping, it's not breaking. I feel like I can stretch even more if I needed to. Again, it certainly takes some force to install it, but once it's set up, you can really use one finger in there. You don't even have to use your whole hand, just one finger. And you're not gonna drop that. So combine that with a leak-proof lid, I think you are good to go. I got 2 fingers in there. I can dribble like a basketball. So far, I think it's working. Now, one thing on the Amazon listing I noticed is that they use it on a disposable water bottle. I'm not sure if it's gonna be too flimsy for that. So let's try that. Let's try this bottle of Perrier water. And this is a little bit more sturdy than some water bottles. I'm kind of throwing a softball here. So let's put it on the top here. I also picked this one because it's tapered, which could be a little more problematic. Now putting it on the bottom without shaking it up because it's carbonated. Is it gonna be a problem? Not a problem, not a problem. All right, there we go. All right, once again, we wanna have some slack so we can hold on to it, put a couple fingers in there, and I am good to go. Now, I don't really wanna be shaking up a Perrier bottle, but you know, strength issues, not a problem. Let's try drinking out of this. All right, so I really only used 2 fingers to drink that with, and it was dangling off my hand, and still I was able to control it enough to drink out of it. So far, so good. A couple more things I want to try. First of all, they showed it being used for a phone. I have an older iPhone XS Max, which is still size-wise perfectly acceptable for this test. Let's stick it on there and see what happens. My first thought is you have these buttons on the side. I mean, stretching over that's pretty easy. It's holding on to it, but it's not really stretching to the limits. I did it. I'm going to try to move these to the edges because some of the screen's kind of blocked. All right, and there we go. I guess it kind of worked. It kind of works. What do you guys think? And again, I don't think you're supposed to put all your fingers in there. I guess you could if you have small hands, but you really only need a couple fingers. And it seems like it's holding it pretty well. I mean, it's holding it. I'm using no strength at all, and it seems like it's holding up pretty well. Let's keep going. People in the comments said they use it for a remote control. Let's see if that works. I have a DirecTV remote here. Let's see if I can do that. Now I'm gonna be covering some buttons though. I have to just pick buttons I'm not gonna use too much, I guess. I guess like this, I'm kind of not covering too many of the buttons, so let's see. Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure I feel like it's great for this, but it seems like it's doable, but you're gonna lose some buttons. One more thing I wanna try, they showed it on a hairdryer. So obviously I don't use hair dryers, but now I was thinking you're gonna have to feed it through this cord, but I guess if it's kind of permanent, you can only do it once and then you're good. So let's try that. Feeding the cord through it. Easy enough, easy enough. Now let's see if we can get over this handle. This doesn't seem too bad. It's not really very tight on here. Maybe we can make it work though. All right, it seems a bit loose, but let's try this out. All right, in this case, I got 3 fingers in there. Even though it's kind of loose, it still seems like it's kind of working. You could probably just leave this on here all the time so someone could use it without having to reapply it each time. So, I mean, I think it works. Again, every situation seems a little bit different. It seems better suited for some than others, but it seems like it has a lot of uses in some situations. Let's head over to the couch now and simulate a real world situation. I'm going to channel surf with my remote control and my Eazy Hold, and I'm gonna drink out of this plastic cup with my Eazy Hold. So let's see how that goes. Remote control installed in the fingers. And we're going on. So in the end, I'm a fan of the Microscope. It's only 24 bucks. It works perfectly out of the box. It's easy to use, and the video, as you saw, is perfectly acceptable. The Eazy Hold I can see being situational, but potentially useful to some people. And the Oreo Dipper is overpriced, barely works, and not even as good as a fork. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.